Hey everybody, this is World War Guy here today, and for our 12th helmet of the month, we are looking at the German M42 helmet. Now, the M42, reality, all German helmets during World War II, there's a lot of information, there's a lot of variety out there, and I only have one helmet, so we're only going to be looking at this specific helmet, and we're going to see what it's offering us. So first thing you may have noticed is the decal, which is a German eagle holding a swastika. This is designated for the Heer, or the regular German army. If it was for the Kriegsmarine, or the Navy, it would be the same decal but with a golden eagle. The Luftwaffe, or the Air Force, would have a eagle that's flying. And then for the SS, they would not have an eagle. On this side, they would have the national flag, which was the red background with the swastika. And then on the other side of the helmet, they would have the SS runes on there. Looking at the paint job, it's a little hard to tell on camera and in person, but there's definitely a green sort of color on it, a green or feel gray color. There are splotches of brown, but I think that's just of age. I do not think that would have been original to the helmet, as in when the soldier was wearing it. Now, of course, you can see a lot of these helmets, they would have sort of camouflage. They would have maybe a more darker gray, a lighter gray, a more green color. It definitely varies. There's a lot of variety out there. But this one definitely has a green-brown color to it. But again, I think that is because of the age. Now, as I mentioned in the early part of the video, this is an M42. Now, obviously, Germany had helmets before 1942. They had the M35 and the M40. Going with the M35 is nearly identical. The only difference on the shell is that here you can see it is a raw edge, while the M35, the M40 had a rolled edge. On the M35, the air vent here would be a separate piece, while the M40 and the M42, it would have just been stamped into the shell as it is right here. Otherwise, shell-wise, they're basically identical. Alright, then looking on the inside, unfortunately I do not have a complete liner for this one. As we will look with the finished helmet, for example, it will give you a better idea than if I was trying to explain it to you right now. So here we have these were either aluminum or steel bands, and then the band would hold the leather part of the liner. Then here you had the chin strap. Here I have a little bit left, which was a leather chin strap, which was not a friction, it was a basic buckle chin strap. I don't know the name for it. On the skirt in the back, you have some markings. So underneath, the 3156 would be a serial number, and the top one here would be the manufacturer number and the size. Unfortunately, the top one is a little hard to read, so I can't tell the manufacturer, but the size is a 64. So a shell size 64 would be able to fit a size 56 and 57 liner. As you can see with the paint here, it is a greener color. And then on the inside, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but on the inside you have a stamp, or a dome stamp. These are pretty hard to find since they're just ink. They're not engraved or anything in the shell, so they're easily rubbed off due to sweat, rain, the elements, anything like that. So having this in this helmet is actually quite interesting and unique. This would have been sort of just like a manufacturer marking or approval stamp. I would like to try to get closer, but you guys can see a little bit of the lettering just right there. Now, a lot of these helmets after the war were used to scrap, used for scrap metal. A lot of these were brought home as war trophies, war souvenirs, and a lot of them were actually reissued to other countries. Now, not the M40 in particular, but for example, the M40 and the M35 were reissued to the Finnish, or the Finns, the Norwegians. They would use them for either civil defense, for their military, for firefighters, basically anything like that. This particular helmet, I don't have proof for it. This is the story goes, so take it with a grain of salt. But I bought it at this rundown antique shop, and the seller was telling me that a U.S. vet brought it back when he served during World War II, along with a bunch of other helmets. And then, I don't know, he sold them or gave them to this antique store. and they sold them, and this was the last one that was available. That's what the story goes. I don't know how true it is, so take it with a grain of salt. Now, of course, I could go into a lot more detail with the German helmets. I do have separate videos on that if you do want to check it out, but I do want to keep this video relatively short. So with that being said, this is the end of the video. If you enjoyed, please drop a like, write a comment, share, and subscribe. But besides that, you guys have a great day.